Welcome to AM Best Audio.
The Actuarial Foundation's Modeling the Future Challenge is a real-world competition for high school students, combining math modeling, data analysis, and risk management into one exciting challenge. To compete, students use the actuarial process. It's a 5-step framework similar to the scientific method that lays out an actuarial structure of how to successfully identify, analyze, and manage risks while conducting an actuarial research project. Some of the teams competing in the challenge used AM Best data. Joining me now is one of the teams that did just that, and they are 9th grader Timothy Chen and 10th grader Aryan Mukherjee. And Aryan, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about the competition?
Our project specifically was looking at the effects of the new legislations that have been passed across the United States, legalizing recreational marijuana, and specifically the effects that could have on fatalities, minor fender benders, car insurance, everything around cars and their incidents on the road. And so we conducted our project, like you said, using the 5-step actuarial process. We got together in our group originally, and when we realized that we qualified for the semifinals, that's when we sort of came up with our idea and brainstormed everything around it. And we used a plethora of different mathematical techniques. We ended up having to make major assumptions and having to validate our assumptions. We used something called a difference in differences model in statistics that tried to show exactly what the change was and how various different legislations had different effects on the rates of car crashes. And we had to also show, based on all of our data, how major the risk was, as well as brainstorm some risk mitigation techniques that we believed would be effective in order to help mitigate the risk long term.
Interesting. Timothy, how did you come up with the idea for this project?
So we were trying to figure out some project that would be both meaningful to us and to our community. So we thought that marijuana, it's something pretty new and not many people have studied it. So we thought it'd be something that we could do and make a difference in the world.
Aryan, what made you decide to compete in this project?
So I'm part of the math club at my school, and I heard an announcement from the math club that they were having a competition for this and they needed to create teams. And so I went to the meeting to create teams. I found this to be very interesting because a big passion of mine is math, and I want to bridge that gap and figure out how to connect my passion to actually helping people in the real world. And I thought that this competition would be a perfect way for me to experience that and work with actually using math in the real world. And so I joined a team with Timothy and Sang, who's not able to make it here today. And we just sort of started brainstorming, working together, and I really enjoyed the project, and the rest is history.
How about yourself, Timothy? Why did you join?
Yeah, so pretty much the same reasons. I only found out because of Sang. So Sang brought us all together. And also, I just thought that would be a good idea to do it. I really like math and modeling, so yeah.
And Timothy, you used AM Best data in your project. Can you tell us exactly what you used and how you used it?
Yeah, so AM Best has given us specific lines of insurance. So one of the lines we use was private passenger auto insurance. We just want to figure out how would the legalization impact the amount of insurance that each policyholder has to pay. And we found that it actually increased by about $7, which isn't that much, but it's still pretty significant if it's spread out over like so many people. And so yeah, we chose to look at that because we thought it might have some impact.
Customize your data experience. BestLink now offers an interactive company dashboard that provides company-level intelligence in a fast, user-friendly interface featuring interactive tables, charts, and Sparkline performance histories. Customize the dashboard tiles to prioritize the insurer ratings, data, and analytics that best support your workflow. AM Best. Our insight, your advantage.
Yeah, Aaron, I was going to ask you as well. What made you decide to use the AM Best data?
So I believe that with car crashes, if we just look at the data of car crashes and fatalities, that doesn't cover the entire picture and the entire effect effects of legalizing recreational marijuana on the roads. There's many different other facets that could impact people's lives, such as insurance, because insurance is such a major thing, especially now in 2024 and continuing into the future. Insurance costs a lot of money, and insurance is just very important in general to consider when looking at things like recreational marijuana and whether or not to legalize it. So we decided to use insurance as another part of our project to analyze and see what the effects of that are in order to further bolster what risk mitigation techniques we would suggest so that they're more holistic and they cover not just the car crashes, but they end up being a viable solution for anything, including insurance.
Aryan, how many teams did you compete against and where did you finish? Do you know?
So we competed against, in total, hundreds of teams, but once we qualified for the semifinals, it was narrowed down, and we ended off at the semifinals. We were unfortunately unable to make it to the finals, and I believe 15 teams qualified for the finals. So we just narrowly missed that, but we were close, and we made it to around the top 80 or so teams.
Very good. I've got to imagine that both of you are considering careers in math. Timothy, what are your plans for the future?
Yes, I'm still a freshman, but I think that I want to pursue a math career. So I'm currently deeply involved in the math club. That's how I figured out about this in the first place, and so I'm really excited about that. I'm like this summer I'm gonna do a math summer program, and so I'm pretty happy about that. And yeah, so just like math in general.
How about yourself, Aryan?
Yeah, I also want to do a math major, most likely in applied math. I really want, like I had mentioned, to connect myself to the real world and figure out how to use math to benefit lots of different people's lives. And so I feel like with an applied math major, I can really hone in on a specific part of math and use that as and my passion in order to figure out exactly what I want to do with my life and how I can use math in order to benefit these people's lives. And so, yeah, just like Timothy, for similar reasons, because I really do enjoy doing math, I want to engage in a math major.
Well, I suspect you both have a very bright future. Aryan and Timothy, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
calling.
thank you so much.
That was Timothy Chen and Aryan Mukherjee, and I'm John Weber for AM Best TV.
Looking to get the full attention of the insurance industry? We have the platforms that will do just that. Whether it be AM Best TV, AM Best Audio, Best Review Magazine, or Best Day. Find out more by calling AM Best Advertising Sales at 908-439-2200, extension 5399, and have a great day.